what I learned from 3.5 years of retention. This is not a streak. This is me just practicing retention for 3.5 years. I'm going to share with you guys what I noticed along my journey. The first thing I want to cover is going to be your benefits and timeline. This is something that the vast majority of people, they'll start looking into, and you'll start having expectations. And keep in mind, there are benefits, but they're a little bit different from the timelines. And this is something that I learned in the first year of practicing retention. So like people say, oh, on week 1 you're going to notice this benefit, on week 2 you're going to notice like these 3 benefits, on week 3 you're going to notice these other benefits. And the thing is, these benefits do happen, but they don't happen in that order, or they're not going to happen at that exact time. So don't have expectations for these benefits. Keep in mind that it's a possibility it could happen, it's a possibility it cannot happen. So don't have high expectations, because like when I first started, I was like, okay, where is this benefit, where's that benefit? And I'm like, okay, I hit exactly 2 weeks, so I should be seeing this. Factors come into play. So like I made some previous videos about like your age. Your age is going to affect your retention benefits. Also your diet, your sleep routine, all these little factors are going to affect it. So you're going to have to be disciplined and make it into a routine and just notice these benefits for yourself. Me personally, I noticed like within that first week, my brain fog is gone, and then I feel more driven, more energetic, more determined. I just feel more ambitious and overall better. So like I'm not denying the fact that all these benefits don't happen. It's just some of these benefits, they do happen, and other are kind of a little bit far stretched. So there's like the female attraction. This does happen. Like I feel like you are different on another level, but then again, if you're unattractive, obviously women aren't going to look your way and all that. So it's one of those things that you need to be attractive and practice retention. So obviously you're going to be getting more energetic, more driven, more ambitious, so you should be hitting the gym. And I noticed this with myself, is that when I go work out, I notice that actually when I'm on a longer streak, I'm able to push a little bit more weight, and I feel like I'm more powerful in the gym. I'm just like more driven, more focused in the zone, and I'm like, okay, let's pump this iron out, and I'm able to push a little bit more weight. So this is something that it could benefit you, and it's going to help with that female attraction, because you're going to become more attractive because you're able to push just a little bit more weight, and then you're going to be more determined to work out, and you just focus on the main parts that attract women into your life. And then on top of that, you're going to have like the healthier hair, the healthier appearance just overall. You're going to be more in tune. You're going to be like thinking real quick on your feet, so you're going to have these better responses to respond to people. You're going to just be more natural as an individual, and this is something that you guys will notice as you go along your journey. So if you guys really don't believe in like the retention benefits, practice it for 30 days, and you guys will go from there and decide and be like, okay, these benefits I do notice. I do feel more energetic, more driven, and just see all these retention benefit videos, and just like break down the benefits and be like, okay, I see this one, I see this one, I haven't seen this one, so it's probably not there. It's one of those things that you have to decide for yourself, and you have to practice retention in order to find out. The other thing that I learned along my journey is that it takes time. This is something that it's not going to happen right away. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit 2 months. This is something that you're gonna have a little bit of a hard time trying to do, just because you're breaking out of habits and all that. It's a difficult habit to break out of, because like the vast majority of people, they're not going to end up fighting their urges. So this is something that the vast majority of people, they just let their urges and their feelings control them, and you're going to become more disciplined as an individual. And that's one of the benefits of it, is becoming more disciplined. But when you become more disciplined, you're not going to give into those urges. You're going to be like, yeah, I gotta go ahead and beat the meat, or whatever you guys want to call it in terminology. But essentially, you're going to be more in control. You're going to be in the driver's seat, and you're not going to let your emotions and your urges control you. This one has to deal with Nofap. So this is related to retention. So with Nofap, when you're watching spicy content and all that, it affects your brain really bad, and it's not good for you. So it takes about 90 days to reset. This is something that I'm just giving you guys out there, throwing it's knowledge out there. So you shouldn't be watching spicy content at all. It's really terrible for your brain. It's not good. So keep in mind, this one is a timeline one. It's done on some studies, so this one actually does take 90 days to reset. Anything else, like with benefit timelines, it can vary. It's gonna essentially add a week or two towards whatever benefits people say, like, oh, you're gonna notice this benefit on this certain day, day 15 or whatever. Add a week or two, just because like it may be a little bit different for you, or you may see it a little bit sooner. So I'm just saying, not everybody's body is created equal, so it's something that's going to be it's going to vary from person to person. Another thing that I learned along my journey is that retention is more difficult when you get into a relationship, just because like there's that attraction there, so it's really hard to keep streaks going and all that and noticing your benefits. So it's going to be something that's going to become a little bit of a challenge. You can still have fun, just you can't hit your climax. But that's something that you can do, is you can still have a relationship. Just let your partner know of, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And honestly, my girlfriend, she's noticed that like every time I release my seed, talking in code here, but essentially I get drained, I get super tired, and then I notice it, and then I hit that brain fog stage. The moment you release your seed, you get this brain fog, and essentially I'm like so tired, so unmotivated, undriven. I just don't want to do nothing and just honestly go to sleep. So this is like why people end up resetting their streaks or doing the dirty deed at night, is to fall asleep. So this is something that you guys will notice. Honestly, when you get onto these higher retention streaks and you reset it, you're gonna feel bad. You're gonna be like, "Ee, shit, what'd I do? I was there at day 28, day 29, and then I reset my streak, and then I'm feeling tired. I lost some of my benefits. I'm feeling really drained, unmotivated," and this is something that I have noticed personally. Next thing I want to cover is going to be streaks. So with streaks, essentially you can track it or not. It's all personal choice. It's whether or not you want to track it. Essentially, if you do track it, it kind of makes it a little bit better, because you can set a goal in mind. You're like, okay, let's hit 2 months. And it makes it a little bit more achievable, because you have this number set in mind. You're like, okay, let's go for 2 months. And then after you hit 2 months, that's where a possibility where you could get thrown off. But you can be like, okay, let's go for 2 more months. And it's something that you guys, honestly, it's something to keep in mind. It's not something that some people will say, hey, don't track your streaks at all, because it's going to make you reset. But if you do have a goal in mind, it makes it a little bit more achievable. So you're going to be like, okay, let's go for 30 days just to see if I can do that. And you'll actually notice, hey, you'll hit maybe around 14, 15 days, and then you'll reset your streak, and you're like, shit, I was halfway there to my 30 days. And you're going to end up trying to go back to that 30 days, and you'll eventually hit it. This is something that you got to keep in mind, is don't get discouraged when you end up resetting your streaks. It's natural, everybody does it. There's certain strategies you guys can do to keep your mind occupied off your urges and your feelings. So stay busy. That's honestly the best thing that I can say. Also, your environment, you change your environment, obviously that's going to help you as well. But the biggest thing, I think personally, is going to be your determination with this goal in mind. You're going to be determined to see it out all the way through. So that's why it's good and bad to track your streaks. It's personal preference, honestly, what you guys want to do, but that's just my opinion, my take on it. It's up to you guys to decide on what you want to do. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.